I've been thinking a lot about the idea of home and what it is. I'm originally from Mexico City, and for the past 10 years, Toronto has been home. But every time that I go back to Mexico, there's this lingering feeling of this is home as well. And it comes with a lot of struggles and situations trying to understand if I still belong here or if it still exists in my mind the way that I remember it. And I don't know, it's always a bit confusing, but I decided to document this journey this time. And I will be sharing with you in this video how this goes, at least for the first week. Sí está padre el nuevo aeropuerto. I just had a surreal moment. This is the first time that I come to Mexico as a Canadian, and I don't know, I'm happy, but it's a little bizarre. Yeah, but I'm happy. I'm happy to be in Mexico. Finally, it's kicking in. I'm happy. That first day, my dad surprised me with an impromptu trip, and I was fascinated looking at the landscapes. It's kind of funny because I took this for granted, and now every time that I'm back, I enjoy them so much. ¿Por qué siempre haces esa pose? No lo sé. Priorities. Pues es que es el primer día en México y necesito dulces con chilito. O sea, we need dulces with chilito. It's my first night here, and I feel so good. It's what I was telling you before. It's surreal for me to think that I actually live in Toronto because this feels like home. Everything is familiar. The people, the flavors, the way that the streets are designed, the lack of design sometimes. I am quite happy to be here, to be completely honest, and I'm very excited about spending a weekend with my dad over here. It just kind of happened, but I'm very happy with it. So I'm gonna go to bed now, and I'll see you in the morning.
Están los dos volcanes.
El Popo, el Iztaccíhuatl, hay iglesias por todas partes. Digo a mi papá que, que aquí me parece que la ropa es mucho más bonita. Los centros comerciales también son más bonitos, pero yo no sé, o sea, siempre que estoy en Toronto, como que son los mismos colores, los mismos estilos, y está padre, está cool, pero siento que es como lo mismo, básicamente. Y no sé, me parece más interesante acá. As luck would have it, we spent the rest of the weekend visiting the village where my grandpa and his fathers were from. We also stopped in little villages along the way, and it was so comforting to see all those shapes and colors and taste the flavors I grew up with.
Ella fue la maestra de danza. Ella fue la que fundó el taller y a nosotros pues nos enseñó a trabajar y nosotros nos quedamos con ellos.
Y la técnica dice que es una técnica antigua, ¿verdad?
La técnica a la cera.
A la cera perdida.
Today this road was sunny, but this part of the highway is often covered in fog. That's how I remember it. There's also legends of people seeing balls of fire dancing here at night. They're witches. Or so they say. My dad told me he saw them once, but he didn't elaborate much.
¿Sí viste? Ahí está. Ahí se va a ver la sala.
We passed by the last house that belonged to the family. It's become a sort of ritual to go by and see how that looks like now. Visiting La Madrina and her candy shop used to be the first and last stop of every trip. Back in the day, the roads were unpaved, the dirt was red, and when it rained, everything turned into mud. Recently, though, the government has pushed the tourism in the area. They're known by their Christmas ornaments and hot springs. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the esquites that this woman sells here at the main plaza. We spent the night at this hip camp place. Believe it or not, it can get very cold here at night, but we managed to fall asleep right away and woke up early in the morning to visit the hot springs. We drove by the lagoon, which is now another touristy point to visit when you're in Chignahuapan. The hot springs are enclaved in the mountains of Puebla. The roads are still a bit rustic, and I love seeing the red soil. My dad tells me when he was a kid they used to walk there. Now we can drive there, but we still need to take the stairs to get to the actual springs. All I'm going to say is, I have vivid memories of everybody going up and down these stairs and running out of breath along the way. Let's just say that, if going downstairs takes some time, think of going all the way back up while chasing a bunch of kids.
Enséñame tus carritos.
Es una polla.
40. Tengo de pistola también.
Un huevo crudo, jugo de naranja y para adentro. Y lleva Listo.
Una prueba, ¿no? Una, dos, tres.
Todo en uno solo.
If you touch my brain, I'll get on your bed.
¿Y aquí veníamos siempre?
Sí, volvimos.
It's been over a month since I got here, and a lot has happened. There was Christmas, there was a New Year, there were some trips in between, and I got sick. And I don't know why it always happens to me. I either get depressed at some point, or I have a headache, or I feel a stomach ache, or I have a cough or a cold. I don't know why. My sister says it's probably psychosomatic, and maybe there's something to it. I'm not sure, but if there's something that I've learned in this exercise of analyzing how I feel while I navigate being in Mexico and living in Toronto and all of this, is that Toronto is now home because it's the place that I chose and where I've made all of my adult life decisions, and a lot of milestones have happened while I've been there. But Mexico City will always be home. It's where my family is where my friends are, is where I grew up, and that will always be home just because of that. So I will set aside a couple of days before the end of this trip, and I want to be more intentional with how I spend my time. I want to eat in these new places that I haven't visited yet. I want to go to museums. I want to go to coffee shops. I want to go out, and maybe I want to take some biking lessons. And I don't know. I just really want to do that. I think that it would be a very nice way to wrap up with this trip. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.